into the air.
Size equals prominence in Egyptian art. So it made every bit of sense for Ramses to show himself larger than anybody else had up until then. And he did it throughout the land. And you can imagine, again, in the far-flung outposts like Abu Simbel, as you sail along the river and come by these tall statues of Ramses, that there would have been no doubt in your mind that here was a god.
In ancient Egypt, the king was a divine being. It was his job to serve as the intermediary between the gods and the people. It was perhaps the pharaoh's most important responsibility as a living god to maintain order within the civilization, and Ramses seemed to take the role of deity quite seriously. Behind the four seated statues, a temple was tunneled 160 feet into the mountain. Inside, 8 Ramses figures, carved in the image of the king of the dead, Osiris, guard a corridor. This corridor ends in a sacred room. Within the sacred room, there are statues of the great gods of Egypt, and Ramses sits among them.
He actually made a correction and added a figure of himself in a row with other gods, and Ramses the king worships Ramses the god. It's a very interesting image. Other kings had certainly been deified after their demise, or had been deified by other kings, or had hinted at their deification, but nobody, to my knowledge, did it as blatantly as Ramses.
Throughout Egypt, countless numbers of Ramses statues can still be found. They were a necessary part of everyday life. In ancient times, they served as the proxies for a pharaoh that would actually be seen by very few.